tuning in from the previous video, you already know this is the mansion that we rented behind us. Basically the lifestyles of the rich and famous. $8 million. So obviously you can imagine how large this house is at $8 million. Happy birthday to you. Fair amount of stuff that we bring, and it fits in here with room for coconuts. I only have one, so it's not necessarily a lovely bunch of coconuts. That's how you know. I mean, you don't know until you know, and we know on this car. It is very fast. I don't know if that's a pelican or a crane, but this is a long-legged bird.
Do you want to punch it?
Josh wants to know if I want to punch that bird. I don't think so, no.
Like every time you see a goose, you want to punch it, right? It has like a real punchable body.
What is wrong with you? Yeah, buddy! America! This is what art is in the Keys. A fellow Corvette lover has joined us in Florida. Check it out. I will see you guys tomorrow. So, it's extremely early in the morning. It's about 7 a.m. I'm heading over to the car now. I'm gonna take it around so we can load everything up. But yeah, I mean, guys, this has been a blast. I am not an early morning person at all, and this has still been fun. So I'm getting between 3 and 5 hours of sleep every night. And then we're driving in cars for 8 to 12 hours a day. So it's not the most comfortable thing on the planet, but it is an absolute blast. So I have not had a problem with it yet. The C8 Corvette is doing absolutely fantastic. I mean, the car's brand new, so you don't anticipate a lot of problems with it, but it's comfortable. I mean, the car can literally be a grocery getter or a track monster, depending on what setting you have it in, and that's exactly what's happening with this one. These two cars are beasts in their own right, but this thing is just a plain out, flat out monster. Now, you guys, I've had to question a couple different times how the competition seats feel after driving for 8 to 12 hours. And I'll be honest with you, I have a full video coming very soon talking about that in more detail, but just a short snippet of what I think about them is they're absolutely fine. All right, guys, so before we go, I have to point out the shirt that this man is wearing. He's the only one on this entire trip that has that, including myself. I didn't even bring my own. I have no idea. But I wanted to talk about how dirty my car is. And apparently Josh's is just as dirty, but his looks sparkling clean. This one is absolutely filthy. I apologize to all the purists out there. I know. It's hard to keep this thing clean when we're driving a million miles, it seems. So yeah, look at these wheels. Those are like gray. Those are black, I promise. But yeah, we've been through some rain, obviously some road debris. Hopefully at some point, maybe take her through a car wash. A nice, fully touchless car wash. Where's the GTO? I thought this thing was fast. Oh, it's behind them. It's behind the Porsche. All right, Jimmy, I'm ready for the package. Yes! 6 successfully received the chocolate milk. Jimmy, this chocolate milk tastes like victory.
What does victory taste like?
Chocolate milk, apparently. I wouldn't expect you guys to understand.
We aren't worthy.
So I kind of missed it, but the car just hit 7,000 miles a couple miles ago. So we are at 7K on the C8, doing a little bit of hooning, I guess, with the Porsche and the GTO. Yeah, like I said, we're on our way back from Florida. The roads are nice, the weather's decent, the cars are cool. Why not, right? So as you can see here, I'm still averaging 24.4 miles per gallon. We're taking some more scenic routes on the way home, so that's probably going to go down. We're not doing all highway driving on the way back like we were on the way down, so that'll probably go down a little bit, but almost 1,700 miles at 24, almost 25 miles per gallon. Pretty good. 500 horsepower, getting decent fuel economy. Definitely never a bad thing. Check out who followed us all the way from the Keys. Look, it's the long-necked bird that we love, apparently.
No, he's chasing you now.
You want some food? Do we have any food we could give him?
I have a muffin.
You want to give him that muffin?
Not
No,
the
that's
whole muffin.
the whole
I don't
muffin.
think that's good.
No, it's not. I just remember that bread makes their stomachs like burst, apparently.
Yeah, we don't want
Come here. Come here.
it. He wants fish.
Come here. I got some fish. Do you want a fish? I'm not lying, I promise. He kind of looks like a toucan, and that's what's on the Fruit Loops, the box. So.
Just throw one at him.
Oh. Go ahead, man. You're good. Go ahead. Steve. I tried. Steve, no, your Fruit Loops. Come get your Fruit Loops, dude. So dirty. Oh my God, it hurts me. It hurts. A lot of this looks like sand. That's not good either, but we just got some gas. 23 bucks.
Maybe.
Not too bad. Like I said, guys, this thing is really good on gas. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So we just made a quick pit stop here, guys. Daytona Raceway behind me. There's cars going around. We're checking out some packages because you can actually do a ride along with these guys. Do 170, 180 miles an hour around this track. Josh tells me it's quite the experience. But guys, the cars. I mean, what better place to line up some amazing cars than a freaking raceway the size of Daytona?
They told me that I could do a ride along. I still am not convinced that that's not the case. Like maybe it's a different company or something that's doing it here. But now they called me back and said we can. They didn't ask me what track we were at. They forgot. And so they said they're not at Daytona this weekend.
All right, guys, so we were gonna do a ride along at Daytona, but apparently it's not happening here right now. Josh called a place and they said it was, and then they called him back and asked what raceway he was at. When we told him Daytona, they said it's not happening here. So would have been kind of cool, but we'll get you some footage of Daytona Raceway anyway if we can get in. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty awesome to hear the cars just tearing the track up here. But yeah, it definitely sounds like a much different experience than speeding in a Corvette. Very horsepower obsessed-esque. What do you guys think? Yeah. So we just ate at a sub place. Now we are heading to an advanced auto or auto zone to get a vacuum plug for the GTO. I guess there's a spot on the throttle body where it looks like there was probably an air breather line or something from factory, and it looks like somebody had tried to plug it, but the plug like basically fell apart. So we're going to get a new one just to make sure that there's no problems with idle or anything on the GTO. As you can imagine, 1,000 horsepower is a lot, so problems do come up, but it's not even causing an issue. We're just trying to basically make sure it doesn't in the future. So that's what we're doing. So guys, the goat issues might be bigger than I originally had mentioned.
Yeah, do that, and then we'll try to see what's going on.
Like, we pulled up at the light. We did no kind of hard pull, no kind of nothing coming here. We pulled up to the light, and in neutral, it was like, dum, dum. And I was like, did you feel that? He was like, yeah. So then we sat there for another second, in neutral, not in gear, dum, dum, and did it again. And then pulling in here, it was like, dum. I was like, what the fuck is that?
I thought something was in the trunk. It sounded like something was in the trunk just kicking something.
It feels like a throwout bearing or something like that.
How crazy would it be if you got that plug there and it fixed it?
It's not going to.
I know,
That
but
would be amazing.
yeah, that would be awesome.
Crazy.
I'll go get the plug and let's worry about the next problem later.
Yeah. I mean, check. Are you leaking anything?
Everything's fine. Like, why would it start it now?
Good sound force.
All right, guys. So this is the plug right here I'm talking about. I kind of feel like it's sucking in like unmetered air, basically. So the plug was something we wanted to do, but now apparently it's making like a thumping when driving. So Josh is worried it's something to do with the new transmission they put in it. But yeah, I don't know.
Josh,
What?
is that a gasket?
Oh no.
See it? What's hanging down? Looks like a gasket for an exhaust or something.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
So maybe that's just the exhaust from vibrating, smacking something.
Yeah.
There's a garage right there if that's the case. And maybe it's not.
We have a lift, or we have Jackson. Let's get this thing in the air.
Right? That's a gasket hanging off, correct?
That's an exhaust gasket off the wastegate. The wastegate's right there. But I don't think that would do what we're experiencing.
No, but if it's the exhaust knocking around on the hangers, that could be the thumping you're feeling. I mean, it's not exactly a quiet or smooth like idle, so it could.
That's pretty far back, George.
What do you think, John?
You got that feeling that something's not right.
Yeah. Got the feeling. The road trip feeling.
Like right whenever we were pulling up, those kids, we were passing those kids, and you revved it. We revved it, it sounded completely normal. And then when we're sitting there, it just felt like the thumping.
If that's the problem, why did it blow off? Like what's wrong?
But yeah, there was
That's could something maybe.
nothing gave me an inkling that there was anything wrong the entire trip.
Yeah. Well, luckily
Somebody crawling underneath it, losing something.
Luckily, this guy's pretty smart, and he brought a jack and a bunch of tools for this. So this is part of the whole crew. So this is where all the tools are at.
It's like Marshall all over again.
Yeah.
The fact that it's in neutral and doing it might be good. Maybe it's just an exhaust leak that's.
Could be actually a muffler vibrating and smacking the bottom of the car.
Yeah,
like
that's.
it wasn't anything drastic.
Yeah, that clutch. Maybe I was nervous that the clutch seemed like it grabbed and like pulled like right now wanted to stall, but that's just how this thing is.
All right, guys, just back it up and let me take a look at it. I like now.
No.
It's like it
Just
felt.
annoying.
Yeah, enough talk. Let's do this thing.
We did a video to go down to the keys and back. This car drove amazing down, amazing back. We just got a sandwich pulled out. I felt like a kick underneath where that is, right underneath my floor panel. Car's running perfectly fine, but obviously that's a situation we have to handle.
Is that the wastegate?
This is the wastegate right here.
I'll have to take a look right now. I got a couple of cars that I'm working on if you want to just sort of hang out for a little bit. I mean,
Sure.
So
I appreciate that.
see if I can get the vet out of the way and I'll try to get
Awesome.
on the
Thank you
list.
so
Thank
much
you very
for your
much.
time.
He agrees. It looks like the flex pipe came off the turbo, so it probably detonated itself, or I don't know. I don't know what the noise is. That's what I can't get over the noise. Like,
Hey, Poochie, are you protecting the cars? Good boy. Good boy. No? Not good boy? Okay. Maybe he's not good boy. I don't know. Not a bad sign of the shop's quality there. That's a nice, looks like a GT500. I don't know if maybe it's a bumper swap or not. Got a convertible C5. Sounds definitely modded. So the guy's kind of moving stuff around on the lift to try to get the goat up so we can see what's going on. But yeah, right now it looks like some of the exhaust broke off right around the wastegate. So it's gonna go up in the air to see how bad the damage is. Hey, Pooch. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You're a good boy, huh? Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. I knew you were a good boy. I could tell. All the way out from on the other side of the gate, I knew you were a good boy. Dudo. Oh no. Oh no. He's tough when he's behind the fence. Outside, not so much. That poor dog. Poor little Bucci's scared. She was fast. Now she's broken.
I cut you out.
Oh yeah, something's leaking.
Tranny's leaking like a sieve.
Tranny's leaking.
What?
The transmission's leaking fluid. And also your power steering is probably contributing to that.
Yeah, it's wet from here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to fill it up once.
Power steering.
That's probably what all that
Power
is.
steering on
Okay,
it.
all right, sweet.
So this is what's busted up right there. Yeah, it
Doesn't
broke.
look like it.
It needs a nut on the other end too, it looks like.
Wait, they put a, there's missing, bolts missing and studs missing.
Yep.
They're loose. Your drive shaft is ready to fall out.
It's just loose, but it's not broken.
What, it just needs, the bolts need tightened?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you should not be able to move that. John, talk to me.
Stressed out, need to relax.
Do you know how cool you look smoking that? Jesus.
Depends who you ask.
How, can I go to school to be as cool as you?
Yeah.
Does he not look cool?
He does.
Is it good?
Yeah, it actually is.
Where'd you get it, down here?
$9 cigar.
Did you get it down here?
Yeah, at the cigar box.
The shop Poochie. Every shop I go to has a Poochie, it seems. You're a good boy, huh? You a good boy? Oh, you're a good girl then. Yes, I should have seen the pink collar. You're all right. You're all right. You're all right. Everybody's scared of you. I don't know why. I guess I can trust a shop that has 2 C5s, 1 coupe, 1 convertible. Apparently this guy's doing some crazy stuff to this, replaced the engine and the transmission, and basically had it all apart at some point, he said. So because that engine was replaced in the GTO, they had a drive shaft spacer at the end towards the rear differential. And the spacer was not tightened to the differential itself, but the drive shaft was tightened properly to the spacer. So there was a little wiggle room, so that's what the noise was. And then the problem that they were feeling was the wastegate. So the gasket completely came out. One of the bolts came out and the other one lost a nut. So it was pretty close to being completely disconnected. This guy's fixing it, should be pretty quick. So then we can get back on the road.
5 minutes later.
Still having some issues with the goat, unfortunately. Yeah, that sounds bad. All right, so we are back here at Pitbull Performance Shop. They're checking it out one more time to see what could possibly be happening. Hopefully it's nothing too major because, yeah, we still have like 1,200 miles to go back to PA, so yeah. I will keep you guys updated. Josh, full send?
We're driving it.
Full send! He's sending it!
Right, it's not doing it.
Not doing anything?
It's fine. I drove it that whole time. It's not screwing up at all.
Tell me what's going on with the GTO.
So the GTO is broken, was broken. We're not really sure what the heck's going on. Basically, there was this weird sound coming from the transmission we had at the shop. We had it up on the lift, and it's like from the actual gearbox. I just took it around. It seems okay now. I don't know. It's a really intermittent, weird problem. It was really consistent before a minute ago, and now it's not, so.
So even with the busted transmission, Jimmy's still in the GTO. We're trying to make it to Georgia tonight to spend the night, but we'll see what happens. It's kind of getting dark now, so our next stop is probably going to be for dinner, and then we'll drive for another couple hours and then hit up a hotel. I will give you guys an update once we reach either one of those 2 destinations. All right, guys, that is going to do it for another day of this trip. So the majority of today's trip was spent kind of focusing on the GTO, trying to fix an issue that ended up not really being an issue. So Jimmy was able to drive the GTO all the way to South Carolina, which is where we're at now, and no problems. We're here in our hotel room. We're gonna go to sleep, get up tomorrow, and probably make it all the way back to Pennsylvania by tomorrow night. As usual, guys, I'm gonna sign this off with the usual, it's gonna be a couple hours for me. It's gonna feel like 2 seconds for you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.